I mean, Leicester City, they've done it before, right? They've been Premier League champions. They've had experience in the Prem.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. I think this is a season where I see Wolves even going. I see Leicester giving Wolves a run for their money. They're just 1 point apart, right?
Yes.
And it's anyone's game at this point. Like it depends
Yeah.
on what happens at the end of the day. So down to it, I'm still hopeful that Leicester could stay. This might be the time Wolves leaves, or even Everton, because hey, I've been having it out for Everton since the start of the season. So
The
I will not be
moment
surprised to have
if they
them,
go
to kick them. Maybe this is their season to kick them
to
out
get
of the
relegated.
Premier League.
I don't think anyone expected Wolves to even be in a relegation fight.
I don't even think so.
Exactly.
I feel like Wolves is supposed to be like, they're supposed to be like maybe 12,
12.
10.
Exactly.
You know,
So with the
compared
quality
to normal standard.
yeah,
Yeah,
the quality they have, Cunha and all these them guys, right?
yeah.
So it was really surprising. So they've changed
It's
their
the festive season, and the festive season comes with a lot of interesting festive fixtures as teams will keep grinding and striving to get to the top. Some people are saying they're not title contenders, but you people are pretending. Chelsea,
title pretenders.
Chelsea, your
Title
title
pretend
contenders, you
title
cannot escape.
pretenders.
You cannot escape.
Title
Well, we have
pretenders.
in this video we have 5 festive talking points as we're wrapping up the year, getting to the new year, and we'll start with the
Yeah.
first one. What's the first talking point that you have for us?
Let's see.
Will any of the newly promoted teams survive?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's an interesting topic to talk about. So we
Yeah.
have Leicester, Ipswich Town, and
And
Southampton
Southampton.
back into the Premier League. And actually, Ipswich and Leicester have not really disappointed me so far.
Yeah.
They've put in some fight.
Yeah. But the thing is that this relegation zone stuff now, the relegation, okay. I think the first thing is what was your at the start of the season, what was your relegation prediction from the start?
I think I expected Ipswich Town, Southampton, and Leicester to go down. Just
Okay.
given given
Or you
how
know me, I
tough.
think you added Everton.
Oh yeah, I think I added Everton. Yeah, in an
Yeah,
earlier video, I think
Everton.
I added
You
Everton
you you had
because I thought Everton, this was their year to go down because they
yeah,
lost like key people.
yeah. So I
Um,
think you had Everton, Southampton,
Southampton
and
and
Ipswich.
Ipswich Town.
Do you
Yeah,
have
I think
Ipswich there?
I think I might
Oh,
have
you
had
had you
Ipswich.
had Ipswich. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
and I
I,
had,
I, I,
I think I had Everton,
mm-hmm,
Leicester, and
mm-hmm.
Southampton. I kept Ipswich to be saved,
Yeah.
right?
But what
So
but now that we're seeing the way things are turning out, Everton don't seem like they're, at least with the way we're looking at the table,
yeah,
Everton, they're putting up a fight.
yeah,
They're at the same points with Crystal Palace.
yeah,
Wolves have been shaky,
yeah.
this
But they
season.
but they've but they, no, I think the key thing that is changing everything at the bottom now is the change of the managers.
Mm-hmm.
Wolves, they sacked their manager, right?
Mm-hmm. So they have
Leicester
that new
sacked,
manager bounce.
yes, so they've won 2 games now. Two
Mm-hmm.
games they beat United and they won the game before that. Leicester changed their manager. Results fairly the same, a bit better, but I felt like the previous manager had more relegation experience
You
than
think
than Rude Boy. Yeah, than Rude Van Nistelrooy. The guy is just failing. Then you have Southampton that sacked their manager. The other one was clueless,
yeah.
right? Want to play a certain way and just giving teams free points. So yeah, so I think that's had a big difference because now you have a case where Wolves have bounced back.
Mm-hmm.
They were in the relegation. Obviously, Wolves have a good team. I don't think anyone expected Wolves to even be in a relegation fight.
I don't even think so.
Exactly.
I feel like Wolves is supposed to be like, they're supposed to be like maybe 12,
12.
10.
Exactly.
you know,
So with the
compared
quality
to normal standard.
yeah,
Yeah.
the quality they have, Cunha and all these them guys, right?
Yeah.
So it was really surprising. So they've changed their manager. They are playing the Wolves we knew. last
Yeah.
season. That's the way they are playing,
As we expect them to play.
and as we expect them. So I just feel like the managers, how do I say that? Just sometimes when you keep hearing the same thing from the manager, maybe it's not just getting to you,
Mm-hmm.
right? There was no fresh word, maybe freshness in training. I just felt like that was the key. Players were not, sometimes you just need a different environment, not doing the same thing, feel as if it's labored.
Yeah.
You were having like labored performance, but now it's much better, right? So
Yes,
now you
it
have
is.
that. You have Crystal Palace that is struggling.
Mm-hmm.
You have Everton that is struggling,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I look at it now, Southampton have gotten a new manager. The new manager, he 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 previous manager of Roma and
Mm-hmm.
Turin, right?
Yeah.
And how do I say it now? He's somebody that is kind of like defensive minded, sort of
Mm-hmm.
like a Davis Moyes.
Mm-hmm.
So the question now is, would that help them? Do you think, can you make a case for Southampton? That's the first question.
Making it this season. I don't see them staying this season.
Why
I
is
see
that?
them. I see them. I mean, the stats they've had to the Premier, although we might still say it's too early to tell, right? Because we've not really gotten really to
But
that
we are
halfway
halfway
point.
through. We're
We're halfway
halfway through
through, right?
this
We're like
season.
in what 18, right?
Yeah, we're halfway
18,
through this
18 games have
season.
been played. Okay,
Yeah,
like 18, 19 games are about to be played. So it's like it's already telling. It's already telling that they're just so far gone. Even if they have
yeah,
that new manager bounce, like how long would that bounce take them?
yeah,
How many couple games would they win, draw, you know, lose in order for them to secure that spot in the Prem? Because securing that spot in the Prem is how many points you have to get and how many points you have
yeah,
to beat the people on top of you by.
yeah.
So it's a losing battle for Southampton. I think they're at the point where they should just wrap it up. The season is done.
Just
Next
start
year, come
preparing
come
for
back in 2 years.
championship.
Exactly. Come back, see you two
Okay,
years
I don't,
later.
I don't, I don't think I can make a case for Southampton too, because from history, people with this amount of points
Hmm.
in this stage of the season, they always go down. There's no
Exactly.
one that has had a miracle. The
I
only
don't think so.
person that had very few points that had
Hmm.
that miracle. Do you know the team that didn't
What
follow
was
the
that?
history? Nottingham Forest. That's the
Oh, really?
only, yes. The points they had then. Remember they were 19th. They were struggling with 20, 19th.
Yeah.
Then they go to 18, then 19 for a long time. Then before you knew it,
Yeah. The struggled.
they
Yeah.
just had boom, 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 several wins. We surprised everybody. They finished with, I think, 34 points,
It's
and they were good,
crazy to see how
right?
high Nottingham Forest is on the table too this
Two
season.
years, 2 years ago, they were battling with
It's crazy.
relegation, right? I
And
remember
where
that
they
they
are
bought like,
now.
you remember when they and Chelsea were going all out and spending big, they bought like 17 players,
Mm-hmm.
right? When they and Chelsea bought almost the same amount of players, right?
Mm-hmm.
People were like, oh my God, these people are buying so many players. But now those players are really good with the right
Yeah.
manager, right?
But
So,
looking at the upcoming fixtures for some of these lower bottom teams,
yeah.
especially like let's look at Leicester. Leicester, they're playing Brentford, West Ham, Brighton, Newcastle, and Wolves in
No,
their next come.
those are their last five results.
Oh, those are the last results, my bad. So
Yeah,
the last
yeah,
results, the last games they've played,
yeah,
and the results. So they lost to Brentford, they won West Ham, they drew to Brighton, they lost to Newcastle, they lost to Wolves.
yeah.
And looking at the trend for Leicester, looking at the
Mm,
trend in wins and losses for Southampton, and also looking at that for Ipswich.
mm.
I mean, it's not
They're
anything that makes you
practically the
that
same.
gives you yeah, it's not anything that gives you much
Yeah,
confidence that
yeah,
these are
yeah.
teams that really do. I think the
Oh,
only
yeah.
decider is Wolves. If Wolves fumble too bad, they
Mm.
might replace the they might be the abnormally. They might be the one
But
to
I
go.
think I think Wolves have picked up. So with the next 3 or 4 games, Wolves can actually pull themselves up.
We have
Like
to
if you
see
look at
now. We have to see
yes,
how the next 3 or 4 games go.
they've won 2 games in a row. People that struggled for win all season, right? They had only like maybe one
Hmm.
win all season, and most of them were draws, right? But
Hmm.
another thing, okay, let's move on. Can you make a case for Ipswich Town?
Ipswich now staying in the Prem.
Yes.
Not really. I think they are
What's
good,
that?
but I just feel like they are not good enough. Like they are good, but
They are not
I don't
better
see
than
them.
the teams above
I
them.
don't see them better than the teams above them. Better than Crystal Palace. I don't see them better than. I mean, maybe Wolves,
No,
but
but not the
they are not
Wolves I've
better than
watched in the last two games.
they are not better than Crystal Palace, and I
Yeah.
don't see them. I don't see them pulling down the other table, the other team.
Better than
See them
Everton.
pulling Everton, and it's so surprising that Manchester United is in this conversation of even hey they might be battling relegation. It's crazy to think that they're in
But
that conversation, but
how many points are they of relegation? How
I
many
mean looking at
points?
it right now, from what we are seeing here,
8 points.
that's
8 points
about
of
8 points
relegation.
of relegation, which is
It's
just a
a
couple
good
games.
pushing. Ah my god, it's bad.
But it's just a couple games for a big team like United to be
That's
where they
three
are
games.
now.
3 games. We'll still come to
Yeah,
United, but that's 3 games.
yeah.
Um Ipswich Town. I don't know. Like Karim McKenna looks like a guy that would he's willing to change his principles. The
Mhm,
only case I can make for him is that he's changed his playing style. He's trying to just adapt just to stay in the league.
mhm.
Like he's not like stubborn like Vincent Company or the previous boss of Southampton, right? He's
Yeah.
willing to change. That's the only case I can make for him
Mhm,
that he stays.
mhm,
And they have a good striker. Do you get? But
mhm,
the thing that worries me is that does he have enough knowledge?
mhm,
That's the only thing that worries me. But I can make a case for Ipswich Town. I can. But it depends on the performance of Leicester.
mm,
That's what I think, right? So, because I started the season, I had Everton to go down, Leicester and Southampton. Can you make a case
mhm.
for Leicester City?
I mean, Leicester City, they've done it before, right? They've been Premier League champions.
Mm,
They've had experience in the Prem.
yeah,
Anything can happen. I think this is a season where I see Wolves even going right. Like this, even in as much as you're saying Wolves is having the new manager bounce and they're doing well, I still don't trust it. I still believe Rude Boy has some things off his sleeves.
you
Hey,
think so?
they might let's going into the next year. Let's see what happens in the next half of the season. But
Okay.
based on how I'm feeling right now, I see Leicester giving Wolves a run for their money. They're just 1 point apart, right?
Yes.
And it's anyone's game at this point. Like it depends
Okay.
on what happens at the end of the day. So down to it, I'm still hopeful that Leicester could stay. This might be the time Wolves leaves, or even Everton, because hey, I've been having it out for Everton since the start of the season. So I will
Even
not be
worse,
surprised to
if
have
they
them
go
to kick them. Maybe this is their season to kick them
to
out
get
of the
relegated.
Premier League. So
Yeah, I
it's
think
anyone's
you're
game.
right. I can make a so I think we can conclude that we can make a case for just Leicester to stay.
Yeah,
But it depends on the performance of every other person above, not even them.
and this is the Premier League, right? Anything is possible at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah. Okay.
So the players are just not up to par, and I think a major overhaul needs to happen at United. They need to get in fresh people.
Like
They need to
sell
just
everyone.
they
They
need to
need to
sell
sell
most
like I'll
players.
say like 10 players minimum. 10.
They need to sell most of the players,
Yeah.
including Mason Mount.
Rashford is not even there. Before everybody was always blaming Rashford but I'm happy he's not
Rashford has
even
been out of the squad. He has been out of the squad like 4 times, 4 games, right? Up to four
yes.
games, they've
Have they
left him
won
out of the squad.
anyone? They just won one.
But it's not by just Rashford being the problem. Like Rashford is not training well.
Yeah.
Your coach is like you're not training well. It means you're
Yeah.
even useless to the team in the first place. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing you're going to come and there's no impact you're going to make on the team if you
Yeah.
can't even train well.